It's been almost 205 years, and there's a brand new GBA release. Here it is, the Ambernik RG34XX. Look at this cover, this color scheme, this design. Doesn't it look familiar? For us 809 gamers, the GBA holds significant meaning. Let's open it up and take a look. I'm really excited. Without a good knife, let's use this mini HDMI port, which is also very sharp. Tear it open, lift the lid, and there's a protective foam lining. Let's see what accessories are underneath. This Ambernik almost made me think it was an Advance. Underneath, there's a foam wipe, a user manual, an extra lanyard, and a tempered glass screen protector, making it a 4-piece set instead of the original 3-piece set. This A to C charging cable has a classic design. Let's open it up. Wow, it's got that iconic GBA look. Share your thoughts do you think in the comments. Its style. It comes in 4 colors, so let's see which one you like. Now, about its details. The screen is 3.4 inches with a 480x72p resolution. For GBA games, it displays perfectly at 3 times the original resolution. The screen is full color and detailed. It has a D-pad, select, start, A, B, and 2 hidden XY shoulder buttons. On the back, there are LR and R2 buttons, all with conductive rubber for a tactile feel. The processor is the H7 version, and on the right side, there's a single speaker, just like the GBA design. Here's the power indicator light. Let's take another look at the top. The top has a restart button, a Type-C charging port, an OTG interface, a mini HDMI video output, and a menu button. TF1 card slot for system cards and TF2 card slot for game cards on the left side. There's a lanyard hole designed at the same level, and nothing else on the right side. At the bottom, there's the power switch and a 3.5mm headphone jack, and the volume wheel. This wheel is different from the GBA's. It's a spring-loaded type. On the back, it's printed with the Ambernik logo. The logo. It supports a maximum of 7.5 watts charging. The battery capacity is 350 mAh. Officially, it supports up to 7 hours of battery life. The battery cover on the back is the same as the GBA's and is removable. Finally, let's take it apart and look at the back. The feel is just like the GBA with ergonomic design. When we hold it, the grip feels very authentic. After taking this apart 3 times, Ambernik has basically covered the entire GBA series. GBA, GBM, GBA SP, you name it. Let's power it on and see. Once it starts, the power light in the top right corner lights up, bringing us to its main interface, which is the same as the Q5XX interface we talked about before. It's a completely new UI design. Since it's the i7 version, it can play games from FC to PLP. Given its GBA style, let's check out some GBA games. I'll also take a look at Dragon Ball Adventure to see its triple dot effect. Meanwhile, I'll turn the volume up to the max to listen to its sound quality. Here, I'll shift the angle a bit so you can see that the shoe edge hasn't changed color. The triple dot display effect is really impressive. Now, let's bring in the original GBA for comparison. The original GBA screen is 2.8 inches, but mine has been modified with an IPS screen. The top 3/4 cross is 3.4 inches. The overall size and button layout are exactly the same, though the select and start buttons have moved slightly to the left because of the larger screen. The sound is all single speaker, but the Ambernik 403 is definitely louder. Let's hear this sound and then the original GBA sound. This is the max volume. You can add a module too. Let's check out the D-pads. The Anthony Clark's D-pad is a bit thicker. The AB buttons are about the same size. What does the 30X lack compared to the GBA? It's the screen's curve. A rounded one might look Advance nicer. Label and above for a Nintendo label. It adds character. But would doing this affect it? Let's check out the top-notch legal team in the Eastern Hemisphere. The L and R buttons are the same, but the GBA uses micro switches, while this side uses conductive rubber. The connection port is now a mini HDMI for video output, a port for our external device. The cartridge slot is now R2 buttons with added L2. The bottom cover is large, and unlike the GBA, it doesn't have two stickers at the bottom. The bottom is almost identical with a 3.2mm jack and a scroll wheel. The switch is a slider, unlike the original. Guess how much this modified original GBA costs? Its full laminated screen alone is nearly $30, and adding a flash card is about another $30. If you add a motherboard to the body, and if everyone gets this TBA from the boss, it should be around $1,000. The 35XX should be just under $400, I guess. Actually, when making the 35XXSP video, I was wondering when Ambernik would make a TBA model. Didn't expect it to come so soon. Just like the original, let's check out the chaos of this FC and see how its D-pad directionality is. Let's look at the forward, down right, down left, up right, and crouch controls. It's pretty solid, no key ghosting. First, let's try a fighting game and see how the D-pad feels for moves. Then, it's time for performance testing. Let's check out God of War. You can see when there are a lot of characters on screen, it runs at about 20 frames. Some folks say it doesn't have a joystick, so what do? Let's press the power button. Press this to switch to joystick mode, and then we can control the character. If you want to use the D-pad, press the power button again to switch back to D-pad. Mode. Since it's a powerful system, it can play many ported games like Mission, Return to Immortal Sword, Little Forest Racer, Chest Rib Speechless, Azure Tragedy, Iron Tooth Hammer, and so on. Let's try Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. This type of game is 16 to 9, so when we play games with bars on the top and vibrate, two people can play together. As for the online connectivity issue, of course, it's possible. Like the 3NO-XXXSP I use and the 34XXX you use, two people can play together. GBA is all about the fun of multiplayer, right? These two are both GBA models, so they have that vibe, don't they? The network, it supports Bluetooth, so we can connect our Bluetooth controllers. Plug in the HDMI next year, connect to our TV, and you can play with your buddy. I won't elaborate more on this. We've already connected to Wi-Fi here, and you can see Bluetooth. Let's check out the videos everyone loves to watch, with no lag even with comments, like these vertical ones. Not bad. It's fine. You can double burn. After watching the 30-minute video, do you think it's worth buying it at the price of a GBA flash cartridge? Let's talk about the screen first. The screen is 3 times the editing point, 480 by 720, and the display effect is quite good. If the screen were curved like the original GBA, the effect might be even better, but It might attract the attention of the strongest legal department. The button feel is very true to the original. Speaking of buttons, if the top IR and R were designed like the XY, it might be better if the color matches the body, making it more hidden. The grip feels exactly like the original GBA. If you buy a protective case, just press down on these spots like the menu button, restart button, and Type-C charging port. You don't need to press the original connection port. Then, press down on the L2 and R2 shell. The online set fits perfectly. Finally, let's shut it down and take it apart to have a look. First, remove the screw on the back. The TV cover design is quite tight, but you can see the battery. Use a plastic pry tool to finally open it. There's a foam pad underneath, sticking to the battery. This time, there's no processor here. The battery, so the use is cooling. This isn't type of plug. In this. After removing the last 4 screws, we can take out the 32 GB storage card. There's another screw here, so we lift it up. The shoulder buttons on the back are connected by this ribbon cable, which we need to disconnect. This is the back shoulder button with some adhesive. Let's look at this side of the main board. Here is the volume wheel, the 3.5mm headphone jack, and this should be the Bluetooth chip, right? The Bluetooth and Wi-Fi chip with its antennas on both sides. These are the same decorative strips as the GBA, and here is also conductive adhesive. I'm not going to take it apart any further. I'll leave the rest of the teardown to other creators. What do you think of the internal craftsmanship? Still standing in the same spot. Lid strap. Okay. Once it's open, it really has that vibe. We haven't tried the strap yet. It has this kind of leather case. Let's attach them. Just put it inside this leather case. This fits perfectly here. The texture of this bag is still quite nice, but it's missing a belt loop on the back, so we could attach it to our belt. Alright, that's it for this video. If you think it's good, remember to like, subscribe, and support us. Wishing everyone a happy day. This is Gadget Club.